I still remember that day like it was yesterday. The day I watched my only daughter walk down the aisle, glowing in her white gown, looking like the woman I'd always hoped she'd become. My eyes filled with tears, but not from joy, from heartbreak. Because as she passed me by, she turned her face away, pretending not to see me, pretending I didn't exist, pretending I wasn't the man who raised her, loved her, and sacrificed everything for her future. I wasn't supposed to be there, according to her. But I couldn't stay away. I had been the one who paid for that wedding. Every flower, every chair, every sparkling crystal hanging from that ridiculous chandelier. 300,000. My entire life savings. I'd done it because she asked, because she cried on the phone saying it was her dream wedding and she wanted me to walk her down the aisle. But somewhere between planning and the big day, everything changed. It started 6 months before the wedding. My daughter, Emily, had been distant for a while. After she got engaged to Daniel, her fiancé, I noticed her calls became less frequent, her visits shorter. She was busy, I told myself. Young love, new job. Wedding stress. I made excuses for her silence. But when she stopped answering my calls altogether, something inside me ached. I drove to her apartment once just to see her. She opened the door but didn't invite me in. She said she was in the middle of something. That something turned out to be Daniel's parents, wealthy, sophisticated, and proud. They didn't like me from the start. Maybe it was because I'm a contractor, not a doctor or a lawyer. Maybe it was the calluses on my hands, the worn-out boots I wore to work every day. I wasn't part of their world, and they made sure I knew it. Emily changed around them. Her voice, her clothes, even her laugh. It was like she was trying to erase everything about where she came from. One night, over dinner, Daniel's mother made a joke about how Emily had really upgraded her family. Everyone laughed except me. Emily didn't even look my way. Still, I pushed my pride aside. She was my daughter. I wanted her to have everything she dreamed of. When she showed me her wedding budget, nor 300,000, my jaw dropped. I told her it was impossible. But she started crying, saying she wanted just one day to feel like a princess. She promised she'd pay me back once Daniel's family helped out. "They're good for it, Dad," she said. "Please, I'll make you proud." And I believed her. When the big day came, I arrived early in my best suit. The venue looked like something out of a fairy tale. Marble floors, golden drapes, a string quartet playing softly in the background. My heart swelled with pride, thinking how beautiful it all was. But when I walked toward the bride's suite to see Emily, her wedding planner stopped me. "Sorry, sir." The bride requested no visitors. I was confused. I'm her father. She gave me a tight smile. "Yes, sir," but she said specifically, "No family right now." My chest tightened. I stepped back, trying to make sense of it. Maybe she was nervous. Maybe she just needed space. But when the ceremony started, and she walked down the aisle, her arm linked with Daniel's father instead of me, I knew. She didn't want me there. People whispered. Some even looked at me with pity. I sat in the back row, my hands trembling. Every part of me wanted to leave, but I stayed. Because no matter how much she tried to erase me, I couldn't erase her from my heart. During the reception, I walked up to congratulate her. She froze. Her smile faltered. Then, in front of everyone, she said the words that cut deeper than anything I'd ever heard. "I'm sorry, sir." "Do I know you?" The room fell silent. I could feel hundreds of eyes on me. I forced a small smile, nodded, and walked out. That night, I sat alone in my car, watching from a distance as the lights of the venue flickered against the dark sky. I didn't cry. I just felt empty. Months passed. I didn't hear from her. The bills started rolling in. The venue, the catering, the flowers, all charged to my account. I called her, texted her, emailed her. Nothing. When I finally reached Daniel, he told me bluntly, You offered to pay. We assumed you were covering it as a wedding gift. A wedding gift. $300,000. My life savings. I was drowning in debt, about to lose my home, my business hanging by a thread. For the first time in my life, I felt truly broken. Until one afternoon, I got a call from the wedding venue's accounting office. "Mr. Jenkins," the woman said, "we received a payment dispute from your daughter's account. She's claiming the charges aren't her responsibility." That was the moment something inside me snapped. I gathered every receipt, every invoice, every transfer, all under my name. I sent copies to the venue, the vendors, and to Emily herself, along with a short note. "Congratulations on your marriage. When you're ready to act like my daughter again, we'll talk. Until then, this bill is yours." It took 3 weeks before I heard from her. She showed up at my doorstep one evening, makeup smudged, tears in her eyes. Daniel had left her. His family had refused to help with the bills. They'd said it wasn't their problem. She was terrified, broke, and alone. "Dad," she whispered, "I made a mistake. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to tell her how much she'd hurt me. But instead, I opened the door and let her in. Because despite everything, she was still my little girl. It took months to sort everything out. I helped her find a job, start over, pay back what she could. We didn't talk much about the wedding. It was a wound too deep. But one evening, while we sat watching the sunset, she turned to me and said softly, 'I thought pretending not to know you would make them respect me more, but I see now. I disrespected the only person who ever truly loved me.' I smiled, though my heart ached. You can't buy love, Emily, and you can't fake family." She nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. Now, years later, we're closer than ever. The debt is long paid off, and the scars have mostly healed. But every time I see a wedding invitation, I think back to that day, and I remind myself of one simple truth. You can lose everything, money, pride, reputation, but if you still have forgiveness left in your heart, you haven't lost it all. Because love, real love, doesn't come with a price tag. And in the end, that was the lesson she, and I've, had to learn the hard way.